We are joined now by our KTVU political analyst, Brian Sobel. This is a real uphill battle for Republicans in the Senate. Do you think that they can do this? And even if they do, they would still have to reconcile with the House.
Yes, and the answer, the short answer is I don't think they can do it in the short term. There are just too many pieces of the bill that are controversial. No Democrats are voting for it. Republicans are now, you could see, are splitting in all kinds of ways. I think it's a very tough challenge. And then, as you say, Frank, you may get it through the Senate, and now you got to move it on to the House, and then there's got to be a conference.
So even so, with this stripped down, very skinny bill that they're talking about, if they can't, do anything else, they're talking about last resort going to that so-called skinny bill.
Well, yes, anything that can fix the health care in the United States is worth doing. And I think, but it requires that people on both sides of the aisle get together and really start working on this, and we're not seeing that right now.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, Brian, is could this ultimately lead to Democrats and Republicans working together in the sense that if Republicans can't do this on their own, they would have to bring in Democrats, and at some point Democrats would say, okay, good, we're going to join the party and we're going to fix this.
Well, everybody acknowledges there's problems with health care. And so why not work together? And I think the American public, and we can see it in polling and in other ways, are growing very weary of this just constant bickering and things not getting done. So at some point, somebody has to break the logjam. And frankly, that was what John McCain was talking about on the floor of the Senate, is we have to work together. And we keep waiting for somebody across the aisle and actually do something. We hope that happens.
Not making a lot of ground on health care, but there was a very important announcement today from Wisconsin, a big jobs announcement.
Yes.
That, coming out of that. Tell us about that.
Well, this is something that I would have thought the president would have spent a little time on. It's the creation of thousands of jobs in Wisconsin. It speaks to the president's agenda about creating jobs in America, and I would have thought that would have been the opening tweet today.
And yet, Brian, that message was completely undercut by the tweet about banning transgender people from the military. What would be the point of that? Why would the president do that?
Well, first of all, jobs is his agenda,
That's his
right?
core.
Exactly, and so he bypasses that to take on an issue that certainly in the bigger picture of the United States doesn't match reforming health care, and
it's just way down on the priority list.
It really is. I mean, that's the best way to say it. And so you wonder why the president would take time to tweet about that and to actually enact something, which is the new ban or bringing the ban back, and not look at all these other things that are really, really important, like the creation of thousands of jobs.
Foxconn is going to spend $10 billion in Wisconsin. It could generate, from what I've read, up to 13,000 jobs.
Yes.
That's a big development.
It's huge.
And the stock market.
And the stock market, exactly. It's there's lots of things happening, and you just wonder why the president isn't addressing those and kind of leaving some of these other issues for debate or discussion sometime down the road.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we'll leave it at that.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian.
Oh, you're very welcome.